My dream is to fulfill your dream. We must create a Jamaica where there is hope and opportunity.
And so, government has set aside $12.34 billion to see to the proper functioning of the Office of the Prime Minister for fiscal year 2016-17. $3.98 billion has been set aside to cover expenses for the different portfolio areas under the Office of the Prime Minister. $2.3 billion is to cover capital projects. $202.5 million of that amount will be covered by multilateral and external agencies. An additional $61 million is expected to be earned with the Electoral Office and Electoral Commission of Jamaica's purchase of a machine to produce identification cards. With a budget of $8.35 billion, the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation is projected to spend $5.93 billion to cover housekeeping matters. It's to pay workers, accommodate property rental, and facilitate the use of goods and services. The remaining funds will cover costs at NEPA, the Forestry Department, the National Works Agency, and the National Land Agency. The ministry is expected to offset its operations this financial year by $1.69 billion in appropriations in aid. Most of it will come from the operations of the JEEP program, the National Irrigation Commission, and real estate management. The ministry is expected to receive $10.69 billion from multilateral donors. Chief among them is the China Exim Bank, which is pumping $6.9 billion into the Major Infrastructure for Development Program (MIDP). It will continue the improvement of the island's road network. The International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, meanwhile, will be funding Jamaica's foundations for competitiveness and growth to the tune of $850 million. Under the program, entities such as Jamaica Promotions and the Development Bank of Jamaica will help to strengthen the enabling environment for competitiveness and unleashing productivity and growth. Increased coordination of urban and rural development is one of the main areas of focus for the Office of the Prime Minister in fiscal year 2016-17, and so $1.47 billion will go towards the Poverty Alleviation Program. The other big-ticket item, social welfare services under the Constituency Development Fund, will receive $1.33 billion.
I will ensure that government is coordinated and strategically directed, that decisions are taken quickly, that targets are set and met, and that the nation is informed.
As a strategic priority, $36.17 million has been earmarked for the Access to Information Unit to facilitate timely dissemination of relevant and up-to-date government information. This is in addition to the approximately $482 million allocated to the Jamaica Information Service for relocation and equipment acquisition. The Jamaica Information Service is to offset $87.4 million of those costs. The Office of the Prime Minister also has the development of a comprehensive and secure national identification system as one of its priorities for the fiscal year. $20.3 million has been set aside for that purpose, with the Inter-American Development Bank providing $15 million in support.
As promised, we have created a Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. It should not come as a surprise that it is in the Office of the Prime Minister. It pulls agencies from all over government that are instrumental to growth and job creation. I will be assisted in this super ministry by 3 ministers without portfolio. The benefit of the ministry, aside from investment and growth promotion activities, will be the central coordination and logistical planning of the growth agenda.
And with that in mind, the ministry will be spending over $734 million on irrigation, road construction and repairs, and disaster management. $708.3 million will be spent on industrial development, foreign investment, and export promotion led by Jamaica Promotions JAMPRO. The majority of the money garnered from donors and multilaterals this year will fund road construction and repairs, the relocation of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, and environmental protection and conservation. Included in the road construction is the continued build-out of Highway 2000 with the acquisition of lands along the north to west section of the highway. Rural roads, secondary and arterial roads will also be targeted this financial year. On the relocation of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade to downtown Kingston, government and the People's Republic of China will be partnering on this project.
Our government commits to creating the environment in which families can flourish and form communities of social mobility, from which every ghetto youth can be a star.
The Office of the Prime Minister, driving economic growth while creating jobs.